Welcome to October's Flamingo Community Lagoon. Once again, it's the last Tuesday of the month, so we're here hanging out to chat about Flamingo Finance, the project roadmap, DeFi, crypto markets, and anything else. And remember, this is an AMA, so we're also here to answer any questions the Flamingo community may have. For those who don't know, Flamingo Finance is an easy-to-use DeFi platform built on the Neo N3 blockchain. As a decentralized exchange, Flamingo is designed with smart functions for everyone, from beginners to advanced crypto users. On Flamingo, users can stake digital assets in liquidity pools and earn rewards in our native token, FLM. We've been around for over 3 years and currently have a TVL, or total locked value, of over 40 million USD. We've also introduced our very own stablecoin called FUSD, where users can add collateral and borrow the stablecoin against the collateral. For those listening in on YouTube or Spotify, we hold these lagoons live on Discord, which we'll link below so you can join us in the next one. And please don't forget to like and subscribe from any platform you're tuning in from. Your support is greatly appreciated and is important to get more flamingos at the lagoons each month. If you're in the audience, feel free to raise your hand to come on stage and ask us any questions you may have, or drop your questions in the chat and we'll keep tabs on it. So with that, let's get started. When order book?
When order book? Well,
When?
I think it was 6 months ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Haven't you tested it?
I have tested it six months ago. Yeah, and still testing it now. So yeah, we're
like the pros then is like if you released it 6 months ago, it would be over twice as expensive to use.
Yes.
So at least that's one of the pros. Like last week, together with NGD, we rebuilt the compiler, and also we're able to get a new tool to optimize gas costs, to see like where we can do the optimizations. So
yes.
but we're right around the corner. I think I said that last month as well, but yeah, I don't see anything pushing us.
Well, the things that are happening now is that we are testing on testnet, and while we also fix some of the issues reported in the security audit, some new challenges arises, and we have to fix them as they arise. And also, we had some ideas, like you said, to look at the compiler to see if anything can be done, and then we took an extra round to see if there's things to optimize, and that was a really successful was to say a little adventure, digging down all the opcodes of the contracts. So just to explain this technically, how it works on the Neo blockchain, you can write smart contracts in a number of different programming languages. So that is easier for new developers to start becoming blockchain developers, basically. And the way that works is that you write your smart contract in your favorite programming language. That program that you've written just basically get translated into something that the blockchain can understand, that is called the Neo VM, basically into Neo VM instructions. So they take maybe a Python code or C# code, you put it through a compiler, that's the one that translates all these nice looking code that is easy to reason about, down to virtual machine code that can run on Neo. And in that process, there might be a lot of inefficiencies that leads to higher gas costs. So we decided to take a look, is there something that's really inefficient in this translation between C# and the Neo VM code that will eventually live on the blockchain? It turns out it was. And it also turns out, while we tried to figure out which parts of the code were really inefficiently translated, we also found parts that were inefficiently programmed by Flamingo devs as well, so that we could iron out those as well. And with all of the optimization, I think now we're down to 0.08 gas cost for some of the trading pairs, when you do not trade in the AMM, and around 0.1 gas when you use the AMM as well to have less price impact. So that's really good. I think. Is that better than we have now? I think.
Yeah, but that's also including some changes to the gas fees on the network as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Yeah.
But I think it was about 0.3 or something, or below 0.3.
Oh yeah,
Even with the
0.25
current,
to 0.25 to 0.3.
even with the current settings.
Yeah, with current settings, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's worthwhile doing. And yeah, as I said, we're making progress, small steps every day, or some days are huge steps. So who knows when we're finally confident to take it online? We'll need one more month at least. So we'll check in on the progress next May as well. I feel more optimistic each time we talk here, but I can't really promise. I hope we would get it done this week, this month as well. But like the past 5 weeks, I've been sick for 4 of them as well. So it's been hard to do these all-nighters and have heavy progress that we have had before. So I know other members of the team has been sick as well. So it's been a hard month to make good progress, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it's one step at a time, and we had the same with FUSD. We have the same with everything, and if you look at FUSD now, I think like we're all happy that it's been working for. Is it over a year or 2 years? I guess in 2 years, or am I mistaken?
Flamingo?
No, like Lend.
Oh,
Flamingo
Lend.
Lend.
1 year, I guess.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah. So
Stably working.
yeah, stably working, and all the assets are there. So stuff like that. It's like I remember the pressure. It was the same pressure that it is now for the order book. But there's no pressure there now because it's a really good working product. So then we don't have the pressure of people asking, where did all my money go?
Yeah.
And you can take Lend, and Lend is it's a child's play versus the order book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, versus the complexity and like all the pitfalls and all the things that you have to like test for. And yeah, just like today, it's like, is it dangerous if there's any dust left? Like Ethereum has 18 decimals. We can't let people buy 0.1701 Ethereum. So like if there's any dust left in the order book here, is that a dangerous case? Then we have to like loop through all these scenarios where we need to figure out if that actually somehow can be exploited in 10 years.
Yeah, some change also reveals another issue that you need to resolve. Like this one was because of a change we did where we fixed something one place and another issue appeared another place, or actually I discovered an issue another place. So then we need to have the discussion what becomes right. Should in a scenario where Alice and Bob is trading, who should get the dust? So you need to make a decision about that, and you need to implement the correct logic, and then you need to test the logic as well. And then it goes on testnet again, and then you need to trade with a new contract and a new trading pair. So it's not strange that it takes a lot of time, because every change you do closer to the final release is harder to make as well. In the beginning, it's easy to make the changes, and you're more flexible. When you come to the end, it's getting harder and harder because everything kind of affects everything.
But I think we're really close now, because the changes that we do now are not major anymore. But yeah, like
it feels like it when we're like arguing about satoshis, because like there's 52 satoshis left for Bob after he trades with Alice. Who should get the 52 satoshis? Well, that affects the contract over time. Is there any exploits that can be done because of those 52 satoshis?
That was like a 3-hour thing today to like just put you guys into the progress of this. We have spent 3 hours today in this exact scenario, because this is something that we discovered after fixing some other stuff, that like, okay, since we have all these small decimals, there can be dust left here, and then it's easy to say, nah, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
And that's why those dexes aren't around anymore.
I was almost inclined to say that, but then I like put a pin in it at like midnight yesterday, and like, let me discuss that tomorrow to see what's the proper solution. Even though that takes more time, it's the right thing to do. So so yeah, that's 3 hours today of discussion, but even yesterday that was to even discover why that happened. It was many hours debugging. Because first I thought it was like a logical, like programming error, but it turns out
but
like
it's also harder to debug on a blockchain. So MFBset made some really nice tools, because we need some visuals to see like this binary index tree, that's the order book. Without those, it would be impossible to even do basic debugging like this. So one thing is code exploits, and the second thing is financial exploits, and I think that we navigated those two really well in the past, and I think it's really important that we take the time to navigate those in the future as well, for the sake of the platform. So we could have screwed up with Lend, and I don't think we would have any Flamingo Finance platform left. So yeah, I know I'm optimistic about timeframes, but yeah, we're really close. As soon as like you close the last issue and there's nothing new popping up, then we're there. So so it's not like there's 1,000 issues. I guess it's this one and maybe one more that we have now. So I'm so looking forward. Done.
Yeah, me too. And I was like, not to be negative, but I was less optimistic when the gas cost was higher as well, because then I was like, yeah, I take like technical pride in the Flamingo team being able to deliver like something complex but also cheap, and but that's maybe only me.
No.
Yeah. So like
It's really important for the product to be good, to be optimized. It's less trading, the higher fee, less trading. It's simple as that. Like if it costs you $1,000 to do a trade, well, then you only buy that Bitcoin if it's $1,000 cheaper on Flamingo.
Right.
But then also at the same time, it's not like we can just sit there, work on the order book 10 hours a day. So there's still AMAs like this, that's just a couple of hours once a month, but then we have we have to add collateral to lend. Like now I see the question about gas. Yes, we're working on adding gas, and it's like, yeah, that's just to add gas. No, it's not just to add gas, because we can't do that. The contract isn't designed to do that. So we need to make double like wrapped gas that is then added to lend. But then you have an issue, because you need a price oracle that support FGAS versus FUSD. So then you have to find a path, or you have to then change that price oracle contract. So in the centralized world, things are really easy to do, because everything is just happening on your local server. And you can just take a backup and say like the website is down for 10 minutes while we restore something. But you can't do that on a blockchain. As soon as it's out there, it's out there.
It's not like, yeah, you're gonna pause the blockchain a little bit. I know some do, but yeah.
No, but like once shit is done, it's done.
Yes.
So like with Lend adding gas, like with Flund now, we're migrating to Flux. I hope that we will get Flux out this year. I really hope that now that we can make the order book done, we can jump over to Flux. Flux is basically completed when it comes to the logic. We just have to like wrap our heads around it for a week. But it's really simple. It's a really simple contract
Compared to
comparing
the order book,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So and front-end implementation is much more complex for Flux, since front-end implementation of the order book is already done with the first version, basically. So we just have to, of course, optimize and change some things. But for Flux, it's like a fully new implementation. But everything there is done, just waiting to implement the contract.
Yeah.
And when we're on that topic, I also just want to say that from now, there is no exit fee on Flund. There will be an article and announcement about it in a couple of days. There's no exit fee on Flund. Flund don't make any income from trading. It will go into the Flund contract, but it's not exchanges for FLM. So what you make now as a Flund holder, you make some minting rewards. You make some trading from FLM and Benio because they have FLM pairs. And then the assets, let me get this straight. You can sell your Flund now and you don't have to pay exit fee. You can stay in Flund and you get some rewards. The rest of the rewards that are in the contract will be moved to Flux. And if you want to buy Flux 1-to-1, you have to do that with Flund. And in a couple of days, you're not able to buy more Flund. So you can now exit, but then you can't buy in again. So if you exit from Flund before Flux comes out and you want Flux, then you have to buy it for 10% more with your FLM. If you stay in Flund, you can buy it 1-to-1, and you also get like all these assets that's piling up in the Flund contract will be transferred to the Flux contract for the first epoch.
Yeah, so if you want to also get a hold of all these fees that will be generated from in a couple of days or even now until the release of Flux, then you should stay in Flund and convert to Flund, and then on the first dividends day should receive all those fees that's been racking up.
But also like Flux are the only asset that is able to go in before the first epoch. So as soon as the first epoch starts, like with Flund, you will get the 1-to-1 ratio. So then as soon as the first epoch starts, you also need to pay for your share of the current dividends.
Yeah.
So the Flund holders will get 1-to-1, but the FLM people coming in afterwards will have to pay maybe 13% on top because 3% is already covered for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these funds will go directly back to Flund holders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that converts to Flux, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the first airdrop will happen within a few days of Epic 1 starting.
I think we said like the first month change, so that like we can do that around like the month change every month.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The end of the month of.
Yeah, so that's like that. Then it's more like we can pile up a couple of tasks and do that at the same time. So when it comes to the airdrop, yeah, you don't maybe get to join the epoch 1 because we're also talking about having epochs for 1 week instead of a month.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So maybe then you don't get to do epoch 1 and 2, but then you get for epoch 3, but you will still receive for 24 months.
Yep.
Yeah. So with current FLM price, that's we're already over 10%, or 50% of the loss with the current price of FLM. If the FLM price goes more up, we're up to like even 60-70% before you get your dividends as well.
Good news.
Yeah. So that's yeah.
I have to say that I need to cut it short today. I need to leave in about 10 minutes. So that's why I also wanted to give the status report on the development early on, so that I could leave a little bit early. I thought, like I said in the other AMM we had that meme turn, that these AMAs today would be 1 hour earlier. So I didn't really put this into my schedule that we would have one to 4 o'clock Norway time.
No worries. Yeah, the time zone shift kind of screwed with things because it's a different shift in Europe than it is in the States. I actually have to leave a little bit early today too because I'm in an Airbnb that's kicking me out right at 11 here, and I have to do a couple things before I leave, so I have to leave this session a little bit
Yeah,
as
we
well.
could cut it short, less than an hour today. It should
Yeah,
be
but
fine.
also if someone has some questions, I think like from now and out we need some questions. Of course, you can always talk about the crypto market and stuff like that and fill that with for a couple of minutes. But if there's some questions, I guess there's some questions, then we can like talk about that. I will be here to answer until at least 4 o'clock, and if needed, of course. But if nobody wants to ask something, I'm not gonna stay here and sing.
Please do.
So questions is good because then we can like try to yeah, what's it called again? Like, yeah, when gas is collateral. I think I talked about that, but yeah, it's that's like as soon as we go down that road and we're doing that, that's also a complicated thing because for lend you have something, you have a off-chain price oracle and you have an on-chain price oracle, and we can't use gas directly as collateral in the lend contract.
I'm not
So
sure
we
how we
need
should be able to calculate the time for developing and releasing that because, as you said, there's all this different kind of stuff that you have to do. So are you able to like break those tasks into like the specific 100 or 200 or 400 task that is and get a time on each of them? I guess you won't.
No, but
So
like we're already starting to test it out. So hopefully within a couple of weeks or a month we will have gas as collateral. But then it will be like you're just sending in your gas, but behind the hood you're sending your gas to a wrapper contract, and then you get back wrapped gas, and then the wrapped gas is sent into the lend contract, and the price oracle knows that the hash of the wrapped gas is the same, or can like change the wrapped gas hash into the gas hash to find the price of gas.
yeah. So, but what I'm
What-
saying is kind of like when it's difficult to say, but
When is difficult to say, but
Yeah.
it's on the table. It's been worked on. I really want it. It's like that's always the I don't think it's funny anymore because sometimes it feels like people don't think that we want this. Like we just like kick around, don't do anything, and don't care about the order book, don't care about flux, don't care about gas as collateral. It's like I think we are the people who want these things the most, but we're also the people needing to do the heavy lifting.
yeah,
So it's really easy to just say when, and it's really hard to actually do it. It's really easy to have an idea. I have a lot of those, but it's really hard to do them. And it's also then I think like from a personal perspective, I think it's important to then maybe reflect on that. Is this something I demand of others that I'm capable of doing myself? Because if you can make an order book for Neo VM that works like the one we're building right now, and you can do that faster, you're hired.
yeah,
It's as simple as that. Like if you can do that, you're hired.
yeah. We
So
also have more developers on it than we originally
yeah.
intended as well, and still it's a complex
Yeah.
task. But
I think for how many are we now like been working on this? It's me, you, and Michael primarily, and then we have a couple
help
of guys from
from
NGT.
GT, yes.
I think in the total amount of chefs, 12 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In and out. But
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
like we need sometimes we need some smart people, sometimes we need security people, sometimes we need
Yeah.
like we always need smart people, so that's a dumb thing to say. Sometimes you need dumb people, sometimes but like sometimes we need people that understand complex math.
yeah,
And sometimes you need people that understand complex finance.
good on different areas.
Yeah. But yeah, and sometimes you need people who understand the binary index tree.
Or invent it.
Yeah.
Well, like in that use case at least, like it's nothing new, but just the application, how you apply it, it's new. And what I am really optimistic about with regards to this product being unique and not easily copied unless we open source the code. Well, I guess we will eventually, but let's have it be something that gives us an advantage for a time as well. I'm optimistic about the product because I see how complex it becomes once you account for everything that can happen. I'm not saying we are accounting for everything that can happen, but most of it that we can think about, like the 3-hour discussion we had today. To be able to claim the executed amounts on the order books, you can't just have that initial idea about that algorithm, the binary industry and how you execute trades globally and not per person or per order. You have to figure out all these small details just about claiming and just about canceling orders and how that would work in such a structure. So then every one of those little details that we've thought about now, that's not easily copied. And if you just do copy it, even if the code is open source and you want to add your own twist to it, make it more efficient, make it blah blah blah, then you don't really know why those small little changes and tweaks were implemented in the way they were, if you don't know the reason why. So I think that also makes it hard for anyone now to just copy paste this on the EVM. If someone is going to launch this on an EVM, it's going to be Flamingo, because we know how.
Yeah, and circling then back to some questions, NeoX is bridging isn't on the table right now, but we're of course planning on deploying Flamingo on NeoX. So basically, let's say the general roadmap right now is completing the order book, then completing Flux, then deploying on NeoX, I guess that will be first, and then building this bridge that we've been talking about. It's not on pause. It's more like yeah, we need time. There's a lot of research to do there as well. It's I think that's as complex as the order book, because we don't need more cross-chain stuff that's just getting hacked. I don't know how people still trust cross-chain. It's like it's not just on Neo, but like please show me one cross-chain solution that's been running for more than 2 years that hasn't been hacked. There's none. The only cross-chain solution you can use, that's Binance and centralized exchanges. There's no decentralized cross-chain solution you can use that hasn't been hacked.
Well, these decentralized bridges is almost like the quote of Winston Churchill: "Democracy is the worst form of government, except for all the others." So it's like, well, if we want to go to decentralized kind of routes, you need to try to at least use a bridge or something that is semi-decentralized or fully decentralized. So it's like, now it's the worst thing to do, but except for all the other ways, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but like,
yeah.
I think with the idea we have here, where you don't have asset risk, you don't have platform risk. You have it in the moment you're using it, but the moment you're using it is just like doing a trade.
Yeah. So if the thing you're doing is really bad and all the other options are worse, then the only option then becomes to invent something better.
Yeah.
But that takes time.
I'm really looking forward to that bridge thing. It's a really fun thing, because I think that can solve a lot of things for crypto in general, but also then you can't build it without trust, because you need to start with trust. Like everything needs some initial trust, and Flamingo has some initial trust, and that's the nice part, because that's like a milestone that you already reached, and in a month that another project would use 2 years to reach, because if there's a new bridge popping up right now, and they're like, you can use our bridge to bridge to NeoX or something, it's like either it's centralized, so I just send you my assets, or it's not safe. It's one of two, and it's like with the poly cross chain now, it's more centralized because there's not much assets in the contract. So if you try to cross chain some assets, you will get stuck until it's refilled.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's then we need more trust, but then it's more safe if we trust the people.
Yeah, and then at least now, when we make something, it will be part of Flamingo's infrastructure. So if you trust then in the platform, you are there and you want to reach out to another chain, you already had that trust in the platform anyways, and then it's going to be the same team, the same infrastructure the whole way through your orders and then the bridging. So then the trust should be there, like you say, and at least there's a market on Flamingo and other people making bridges. Then do you have a market? Is it based out of something that already has the trust? Well, yeah, then I can see it can be something that could work. But then again, that isn't the same trust that people have in Flamingo, you know? So if we use another platform that's trusted by someone else based out of a different platform, then kind of like with Poly Network, you know, it's not the same people. It's not the same thing.
No.
It's different.
Yeah, but also like the more trustless you can have it, the better it is. So
yeah, of course. But then again, like if it's no trust or it's just peer to peer, then you need to be the market maker or the matchmaker. So then you need trust again there. Yeah.
But then it's like Crypto Babylon is saying if you are not focused on interoperability, then FLM needs to be on major exchanges, and we need a solid stablecoin. So well, we're actually focusing on interoperability because I think that's an important thing to solve. But it's like focused on today or focused on tomorrow. It's like there's a time frame here, and I know that most people want everything to be ready today, but I think still crypto it's really early. Everyone that's here is really early, because I think we are the top 1% of the 1% just because you're on a decentralized exchange. So I think 5% of the people in the world holds cryptocurrencies, I guess. But then I think 99% of them are doing that on a centralized exchange, and they have no idea what cryptocurrency or smart economy or anything is.
Yeah, and the other piece of his question, FLM needs to be on a major exchange. We're on most major exchanges already. We're on Binance.
And also have a solid stablecoin.
Yep.
Yeah, that just need to expand slowly over time. Any market cap and on different chains as well, and that's possible to do. So
I think slowly over time is much better than fast on one day.
I got to go, guys. It was nice chatting with you again, and
I do as well.
Look forward to seeing you next month.
See you next
month.
Bye-bye.
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 So any more questions that you guys feel like I wish I knew this, or can you tell me that? Would be really great to answer. I know I'm not so much in the community chatting, and I really miss those days, just hanging out at the price talk and having fun. So I'm really looking forward to come back and be more active there again. But for now, it's more to focus on delivering order book and that stuff. So if there's any questions, it's really nice to take them here now that we put some time aside for that. Yeah, ETA, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm always really optimistic when it comes to that. So I think I missed the last 3 months now. I hope next month. We're really close now, so there's not like a long list. Maybe Michael wants to chip in. What's your gut feeling, Michael?
As you say, we are really close. We achieved really good finding, really good optimization on the gas side. So beside fixing some issue or something that can arise, like you said before, I think we are really close and we are doing a good job. In the end, we are creating something that is completely innovative and is not seen anywhere. And to build innovation, you need to have the time to build that, and to also to build the resilient systems that are made to work for the long term. So I think we are on the good track.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're so yeah, it's impossible to say when. I can tell you
Yeah,
it's not tomorrow.
yeah,
But like really hopefully next month, and I think that's possible if we solve like the last pieces of the puzzle this week, because the puzzle like there's less and less pieces left to solve, and but like today or yesterday at midnight for Atlas, or a new piece of of the puzzle showed itself, so we needed to work with that. So that's always how it is, and the day only have 24 hours, and some days you can work for 16 of them, and some days you can work for 8 or 4, depends. So yeah, but it's just these small things popping up right now that we are dealing with, and it was huge. It was so fun to see the gas cost optimization. So I think that's a huge win for the order book in general to cut the cost with that much, so it will be cheaper dollar-wise for you to use the order book than it is to do a regular AMM swap today.
yeah, and in the end, also the cost with the new optimization, the cost of just adding an order is dropped to 0.04. So it's kind of like a transfer. I mean, it's also really cheap to just add an order and not execute that.
Yeah.
So also for using the order book is it's really good.
Yeah, it's no, it's gonna be really cool, and
Yeah,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So
yeah. And also the
please
bridge.
guys, remember we're all on the same team. We all want it out there,
Yeah,
so we
right.
just want it out on the right terms. We don't want it out
Yeah.
for to be out there and be hacked. We want it out to be out there to be resilient and be able to stay there for hundreds of years. Yes, it will solve all the Crypto Babylon asks if it will solve the liquidity issue. Yeah, right now with most dexes except for Uniswap and maybe some pools on PancakeSwap, you're not able to do really large trades on decentralized exchanges because you have something called price impact. So with the order book, you have 0% price impact. So you can basically have zero liquidity and still have 10 trillions of volume with zero price impact. The reason why we use the AMM is because then we have a market maker in the middle. So I think I explained it before, but I can explain it again. Like if you try now to sell 5 Bitcoin on Flamingo, you will suffer a huge price impact. I think your loss will be maybe 50% of your Bitcoins, basically, if you swap them for Neo. So if you went to Binance and sold your Bitcoin, you would get 2 times more Neo back. With the order book, you can add a limit order at current price, and then people will fill that limit order, and you will have 0% price impact. So you can sell 5 Bitcoin and you can get, let's say, 100,000 Neos. But if you do that today in an AMM, you will get 50,000 Neos. So yeah, it's huge and it's simple. It's like you can trade directly from your wallet instead of having to go to centralized exchange, and you can do basically whatever amount you want because arbitrage will come and fill the order for you when there's enough profit in doing that. So anyone else? I think I think it's so quiet when Bordeaux is leaving. He's always filling the gap. So when is the next FLM adjustment? That's planned for release of Flock, and basically around the time of Flock's in order book. It will then go down to 86,400 or 84,600. I don't remember. Yeah, the amount of seconds we have in a day. So it will be a huge adjustment there as well, and we'll continue to get it down to make FLM much more scarce, so that Flux will be more valuable, because Flux will help you help FLM as well, because then you can burn FLM. So and also the fees from trading in the order book will go to Flux. So if someone sells 10 bitcoins through the order book, then I don't know the fees we're gonna have. It's gonna be independent from pair to pair, like cheaper with stable coins. So, but let's say 0.2% for the taker, and 0.1% or something from the maker, and then those fees will go to Flux directly. Right now, you get 0.05% of just the taker sent to Flund. So basically, the fees that Flux will receive is, if we have the same volume, it's 6 times higher. And also with the order book, we can have unlimited higher volumes. So you can sell 10,000 EOS without price impact. You can sell 10,000 gas. You can buy 10,000 EOS. You can do all these huge, crazy trades without suffering any price impact. And that will help volume, and that will also generate even more fees. Yeah, my health is good. Actually, I was really sick for a week, really sick. So that was just it was the worst week to be sick, because my all my kids were out of the house for a whole week, and my wife was at work for a week. So I was going to be home alone for a whole week. And when you're a middle-aged man with kids, that's something special. To have the whole house for yourself, like not going to a hotel, but just like your house. So that was, I woke up Monday, like had plans like working out, and woke up Monday with 39 Celsius in fever. So I was just passed out at the couch for the whole week, didn't do anything. So, but it's also, for the next 2 weeks, it's been like still in the system. I guess you guys know how that is with the hard flu. So, but I'm back to workouts now, and of course working. So I hope Machen, or how it's explained, is safer now. Do you have some more details on what deploying on X will mean for Flamingo? Yeah. Just in the first, it will be just releasing some AMMs, and then I guess Lend will be the next thing to come to EVM. We have some cool plans for Lend, or at least FUSD for different EVM chains, and then afterwards, after 3 months of vacation or something, me and Michael will start to port the order book over to EVM.
Oh my God.
If we do it right now, I think I will find the rope and the bridge.
Like the Simpson meme with Bo with the rope, my dear friend.
Yeah. So I guess this is two of the same questions. So Nu is asking, are we sure this new order book will solve all the issues that the previous iteration had? I know little to nothing of the changes except lower fees, which already solves a lot. But are there any more notable additions I might be unaware of? Yes. The biggest issue we had is that with the blockchain, there's at least with Neo, you have to pay a gas fee for every transaction, and that's calculated by your wallet before you send the transaction in. So the issue with the old order book was that, let's say there's an order there now, then you calculate it and you send in your transaction. Someone else comes and buy the order, and then you don't get it, so you just trade an AMM. So you paid like the gas price for buying the order. But that's not the issue. The issue is the other way around. If you see that there's no order now, so you get the gas price of 0.1 gas, but then on the same block right before your transaction, someone is posting a limit order. Now you paid too little gas, so the transaction actually fails on chain, and that's really hard to solve, because that means that you can't have any dynamic smart contracts. They need to be static. And we're talking about an order book. We're talking about on one shelf there can be 1,000 orders, on another there's 0. And we're talking about people can add orders right before you, someone can buy them right before you. So this an order book is dynamic, and Neo isn't dynamic. Neo is static. So that's basically the issue with the version 1, is that the order book was dynamic and the gas fee was dynamic. With this one, it's static. That's why we use this binary index tree, because then it's not like you're processing order for order. So that's the biggest actually hurdle that we solved with it. And also we were able to reduce the gas cost, and we were able to make a even better trading experience. So, and then a question from Benny B. Aren't you concerned small things will keep popping up, or some other form of scoop creep? Meaning that you might actually never ship order book. Like the poly hack happened over time, things happen over time. Is there a way for a project to promote their tokens somehow in a decentralized manner? I guess that's a different questions, but okay, for the first one, I'm not concerned about that. That's just the nature of development or nature of innovation. It's like you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have things coming in the way, but you still do the innovation. Like Michael isn't that much in on the lend stuff and all that stuff, so he's focusing on that, and the same with Atlasor. They are working hard on the order book while I'm trying to solve the other stuff, and then also come in and help them if needed, like today having the discussion with Atlasor. So there's always stuff happening, and sometimes we need the whole team, like with the polyhack, but that's a huge deal. That's like user assets. It's about like actually showing that this is a priority thing. This is something that is top priority. And I think that was the right decision to then say like all hands on deck to fix this one, and then we can go back to what we're doing. Because at least personally, I want to know like what's up with my assets. Like I know that we're all here for trading or making money. We're not here for fun. So then you should like take that really seriously when you're talking about user funds. So then it's more important to fix that issue than to ship the order book. I guess the order book wouldn't matter if if still the old F assets were at Flamingo. So, but yeah, it's a process, and the process will take the time it needs. But as I say, it's like it's really small stuff, and it's really at the end right now. Is Tau investment module still considered? Might be relevant now with NeoX starting up and new hackathons being funded by NGT or NeoX. Yes, I really want to complete the Tau, but I think it's like it's always getting pushed down because there's like now issues with bridged. So we need to like either we make Tau or we spend that time on the bridge. But I think the Tau contract is basically done. I think also much of the design, at least the design, is finished. It's not implemented. But yeah, it's still a thing that we need to have in there. But for some of the projects that were considered to have a Tau, it will just be listed with an AMM and an order book. So there will be some new listings on Flamingo as soon as the order book is done as well. Because then you can just have the initial liquidity and people can add limit orders. So you're not like with reverse pools. The reason you had those were because you wanted to incentivize people to add liquidity to the MM to make the trading experience good. But with the order book, you don't need that kind of liquidity and the MM. So the project can add, let's say, $20,000 there, and then that AMM is working as a market maker, and then people can trade limit orders on or around the price. That was a long explanation for a lot of different things. Is everything clear? Else just ask again. Nice. Yeah, and always just ask. So it's like we always had this policy to be transparent, and I don't want this marketing, but I know it's bad for maybe price or something. I don't want this marketing bullshit, because FLM shouldn't be a speculative token that you buy just for the pump and dumps. You should buy it because you believe in the technology that's been built for the future. And of course that's an easy thing to say, and of course, as I said, we're here to make money, but if we were, I think it's more important to be transparent with users and people that are here for the same reasons, that they like decentralized applications, they like the decentralized economy, and be transparent about what we're doing and what's going on, than to do all this marketing hype and never being able to deliver on the hype. So yeah, we're talking about the order book here and stuff like that, but I don't hope, I hope people don't see that as trying to hype the price of FLM, because I think we should be able to do that in a really, really much better way, if that was our goal. And yeah, the Bitcoin price is kicking upwards, so that's good. That's good for my 1000x long future position. Have anyone else tried 1000x long?
Hell no, that's way too risky. I'm scared of like
Every
10.
day.
No, it's futures is gambling. So I see MicroStrategy is like 2x, and now they made a kind of fund that you can buy that is 2x MicroStrategy again. So that way you can be 4x Bitcoin in the traditional financial system. Yeah, alt season is to miss the alt season. Yeah, I think for one thing, like alt season is running for a while, so that's one thing, and also it hasn't started. If someone claims that alt season has started, they have to see that Bitcoin is $2,000 away from all-time high, and Ethereum is $2,000 away from all-time high. So, but it's not the same, $2,000. So prediction on politics. Oh yeah. I can say, like I always do with predictions, I think either Trump will win or Harris will win. So you can take my advice for it. So yeah. Unless someone gets shot, of course, and I think in this election there's a huge chance. How many assassination attempts has it been on Donald Trump now? Is it 3?
Yeah, I think it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. You're American. Like I'm not gonna ask you about your politic view, but like, how is the landscape? Is it like either you're a Democrat or you're a Republican?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like super divisive, super like 50-50. Yeah, I try not to get into politics with like, especially with like family and stuff, and too, because you
That's
say
sad,
like,
though.
yeah, it sucks, because like, sometimes you say you have a different belief or different viewpoint, and people take it like really personal, and then it's like sucks with family. It's really divisive. So
Yeah.
try to just keep like
Oh,
my opinion to myself.
Isn't that the whole thing about the democracy, that we should be able to discuss things, even hard things, even hard topics? We should be able to discuss them. We should be able to not agree with each other, but then like I can take what you said and I can reflect on that, and maybe that will change my opinion a bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
you would think so. That's usually like how it is. We should be able to have an open discussion about it, but some people are very like passionate, I guess you could say.
yeah, but like, how is that fruitful?
No, it's not.
Uh,
Yeah.
No, but that must be sad though, to like not be able to like have a discussion with your own family because you're scared like that will trigger something.
Yeah, and then I don't know, sometimes I'm a man of like a few words when it comes to that stuff, so I just kind of let other people talk and just kind of laugh a little bit at whatever they're
Just buy
crazy.
popcorn and observe. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, and just let them go about their crazy thing, letting it took over their lives, and I don't stress out over that kind of stuff. I have my own little beliefs, but hey, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Cool. But I think we're starting to come up to the hour. Is there anything else you guys want me to tell you or talk about, or can give you a prediction about the next Turkish election? I think Erdogan will win. Am I saying his name correctly, Satrov?
Yeah,
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 nice.
Erdogan. Yeah, yeah.
Erdogan. Yeah, I
Actually,
think he will win.
I I think he will not going to be listed in the next presidential elections, but even
He
if
will
he
win.
doesn't, yes, he will win. It's guaranteed.
Yeah. So when Flux, yeah, it's as soon as we're done with the order book, that's the next thing we're jumping on. We're actually almost. I was almost able to get Michael to help me start on optimizations of the Flux contract, but then Atlasor got a bit angry with me because our deal was to focus on one thing at a time. So, but that was close, Michael.
Yeah, it was a really, really close call. But
Yeah, we already had like scheduled the meeting to like
yeah,
go
it
through what we had and
was already
everything. So
organized.
yeah, but then I had to cancel because the deal with Atlasor was that Michael are working on the order book until it's completed.
The deal.
Yeah. So yeah, where dies? I don't know. He's doing Neo stuff. So last time I met him is I was in Hong Kong. It was really nice to have a chat with him. He really has some nice visions about the future of blockchain and crypto. So like all of you guys, I wish he was more active, of course. But remember, there's always more sides to a thing than just like people not posting on Twitter. He's living in a regime. He's Chinese, so it's easy for us. At least I'm a Western guy. I live in a free society. It's really easy for me to criticize other people for not doing stuff. But if that would result in like 20 years of jail, I guess I also would shut up about stuff. But I'm not saying that's the case here. But I'm saying like I think there's more to it than him just not giving a fuck.
Definitely.
So sorry for my language. So Benny B is asking, do you have any belief that NeoX might be a game changer for NGD? Its direction and the new hackathons being planned. NGD has been pouring in a lot of money on N3 project that never really came to reality. So I think it's a better bet to take to do NeoX than to try to get people to Neo N3 like right now. Let's say like that. I think Neo N3 is still a really good place to be. It's a really good place to be as a developer. It's a good place to be as a user. But you need to basically learn in. You need to like understand why you should join us. Like all us guys here, we're still here, and because we think Neo is good. But the rest of the world has decided to use EVM, and EVM is like if you want projects, you can get project because it's copy paste. So I think I would also bet my money on the EVM chain. And and then you have Neo in the background having creating that gas. So I think if you can get Neo X to like really shine, get that to work for gaming or something like that, like get some big projects to join, and even it's much simpler to get Tether or Circle to have a stable coin there, because it's just copy paste for them. It's not like they have to make a new integration and do audits and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, for us on Neo then, like having Neo being here, like knowing all this kind of stuff, if Neo X pops up, that's a really good thing for Neo N3 as well. So but yeah, it's a hard competition. It's a really hard, because previously we were Neo N3, we were a different virtual machine. Now you're together with all those 2,000 other EVMs competing for the same use cases. So it will be interesting to see. And yeah, there has been some failures on Neo N3, I guess, or I know. So, but also that's the crypto market. That's it's been a couple of rough years, and I think for like altcoin people, it's still rough. It's only Bitcoin that's close to all-time high. Ethereum is far away. And BNB and Bitcoin. They are the all-time high guys. But the rest of us is, yeah, I think for Neo we're far away, and for most other cryptocurrencies you're also far away, at least 3 or 4x away from the all-time high. So we need to see that Bitcoin domination go down, and then we can say that we're out of the bear market for altcoins, because there's still bear market for altcoins.
Definitely. So it looks like we're coming at the top of the hour now.
Yeah.
If anyone has any more questions, I think it'd be a good time to go ahead and end the chat. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm ready for that. So just seeing a couple of guys typing. Okay, they're just talking about that I used so much bear market. I don't want bull. Yeah. I guess we're all different. Perfect. Thanks a lot for the chat, guys and girls. Looking forward to talk with you again next month. Hopefully, we then have the order book and we can celebrate. That would be awesome. Also, maybe Flux, but no, I think that's a stretch. But yeah, maybe. But at least my goal is to finish this year with the order book and Flux. We released both of them.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, guys, everyone, for joining, and we will catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye
Eyvallah.
bye.